What happens when you find something that refuses to be named? Something that looks at the neat little boxes we build for the world and just laughs. Nature is full of strange stories, but every now and then it writes a paradox. A living, breathing riddle that challenges everything we think we know. And to solve this particular riddle, you have to come to Australia, mate. You have to come down under, to the ancient waterways where time itself seems to slow down, to meet the one, the only, the utterly bonkers platypus.
G'day legends, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're opening a cold case, a mystery that started in 1799 in a dusty London office with a man named George Shaw. Now, Shaw was a top bloke, a founder of the prestigious Linnean Society, one of the most respected naturalists of his time. He thought he'd seen it all. He was wrong.
A package arrives from the untamed continent of Australia. He opens it, and inside is this thing. It had the soft, furry body of an otter, the webbed feet and broad, flat tail of a beaver, and a leathery bill that looked like it had been nicked from a duck and stuck on its face. In his official notes, he wrote of his doubts as to the genuine nature of the animal. He genuinely believed it was a clever taxidermy hoax. He even took a pair of scissors to the specimen, meticulously searching for the stitches he was convinced he would find. He found none.
Cracky Bruce, you can't blame him. That's a human story right there. A man at the peak of his field whose entire understanding of the world is challenged by this one impossible creature. His first instinct isn't wonder, it's disbelief. It says a hell of a lot more about our human need for order than it does about the platypus, eh?
So right, mate. And the scientific community was fiercely divided. For years, other prominent anatomists like Robert Knox insisted it had to be a fake. They just couldn't fit it into their understanding of the natural world. But here's the thing they didn't know. While they were arguing in their dusty London offices, this creature had been a part of this land for millennia. Australia's first peoples had known about it forever. They had names for it like Malongong and Bundabura. To them, it wasn't a paradox. It was just family. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. The first clue that told scientists this wasn't just a weird beaver was the one that broke the biggest rule in the book. The platypus is a mammal that lays eggs.
Hang on, just to be clear for everyone, that's not supposed to happen, right? That's like finding a fish that climbs trees. It's a fundamental contradiction.
Exactly. Mammals are defined by giving birth to live young and producing milk. The platypus belongs to an ancient exclusive club called the monotremes. There are only 5 living species in this order, our platypus and 4 species of echidna. That's it. They are the OG mammals. It's like they got the first draft of the How to Be a Mammal memo, took one look and said, nah, we'll do it our way, thanks.
But now for the best fact. These puggles, the baby platypus, they need milk. But platypus mums don't have nipples. Wait a sec, Bruce. No nipples. So how? Don't leave us hanging. Instead, the milk literally oozes out of special pores on her belly, forming little puddles in grooves on her skin. The puggles then just lap it up like a tiny furry sponge. That is unbelievably messy and brilliant. It's like evolution couldn't be bothered inventing a whole new plumbing system. It just said, look, the milk's in there, you blokes figure out how to get it. A reminder that nature doesn't care about elegance, it just cares about what works.
It is, mate. A proper marvel. And if your mind is as blown as Damo's right now, do us a massive favour and hit that like and subscribe button. It lets us know you're part of the tribe and helps us keep digging up these incredible stories.
You beauty. And I've got to ask you legends in the comments, if you could have one animal's superpower, what would it be? Chuck a comment below, I'm dead keen to read them. Right, sorry Bruce, carry on, this is getting good.
No worries, but the strangeness doesn't stop. If the egg-laying made scientists scratch their heads, the next discovery made them jump back. The male platypus packs a secret weapon, a venomous spur on each of its hind legs. Now, it's one of the very few venomous mammals on the planet, and the venom isn't for hunting, it's for combat. Its effects are the stuff of nightmares. It induces a condition called hyperalgesia, where the wound becomes excruciatingly sensitive to touch. Victims describe the pain as a relentless, white-hot agony, worse than a broken bone or even a gunshot, that can last for weeks or even months. a fire in the veins that simply won't go out.
Crikey! That's a proper plot twist. It's not just a quirky, cobbled-together animal anymore. There's a darkness to it, a serious, brutal edge. It makes you wonder, why does something so unique also need to be so formidable? It's a powerful reminder that nature isn't just cute and cuddly, it's a battlefield. And this little fella is a seasoned warrior. And every warrior has their secret weapon. But the platypus's greatest trick, its true superpower, is one that seems pulled from science fiction. It's a proper fair dinkum sixth sense, electroreception. That duck-like bill, it's a highly sensitive antenna, packed with over 40,000 electroreceptors. When it's foraging, it closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils. It goes completely blind and deaf underwater. It hunts by sweeping its head from side to side, creating a perfect 3D map of the faint electrical fields generated by the muscle contractions of its prey. Stone the crows. So it's swimming blind, but it can see a living current. That's not a sixth sense, Bruce. That's something else entirely. It's a whole other way of perceiving reality that we humans can't even begin to comprehend.
It is, and it's this final piece of the puzzle that solves the central mystery of why this creature is such a magnificent weirdo. The platypus is a living fossil. This little fella is like a time capsule. Genetic studies reckon the platypus lineage split off from other mammals a whopping 120 million years ago. That's during the age of the dinosaurs on the ancient supercontinent of Gondwana.
120 million years. That's almost impossible to wrap your head around. They've seen dinosaurs come and go, they've survived ice ages. It makes our own entire human history feel like just a blink of an eye. We're the new kids on the block, and we're already causing so much trouble for these ancient elders.
Well said, Damo. And that brings us to the most incredible revelation of all, hidden not in a fossil, but in its very blood. The platypus genome is a masterpiece of weirdness. It's a genetic mosaic. It has genes that link it to modern mammals, of course, but it also has genes that link back to birds, and even more that link back to our common reptilian ancestors.
So it's literally a patchwork quilt of life's history, written in its DNA. That's not just a living fossil, Bruce. That's a living library, a biological Rosetta Stone. That's absolutely staggering.
It is. But that brings us to the final tragic twist in this tale. Despite its incredible resilience, despite surviving for millions of years, our platypus mates are doing it tough. The devastating bushfires of 2019 and 2020 ravage their habitats. The damming of rivers alters the flow of the water they depend on. And the sneaky, silent danger of illegal fishing nets and enclosed yabby traps, which they swim into and can't escape. It's a proper travesty that such a unique and ancient creature is now under threat because of us. Understanding the platypus isn't just about appreciating its strangeness, it's about understanding the delicate balance of our ecosystems and our profound responsibility.
It's the ultimate test, really. If we can't even look after a creature this extraordinary, what does that say about us? It's not just about saving an animal. It's about proving we're worthy custodians of the planet it's called home for millions of years longer than we have.
Well said, Damo. And what the platypus proves is that nature's rulebook was made to be broken. That the story of life is far stranger and more surprising than we did ever imagine. And its story is a doorway to even more bizarre Australian tales. Next time we're heading from the freshwater creeks to the tropical coasts, to a place where the rules of life and a swift, decisive end are rewritten every single day by our next topic, the unseen hunter, Australia's box jellyfish.